Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Paula from Paula's DIY Decor, and I'm the crafter from Down Under. Well, today I have a very special celebration for you. It's my romantic Gothic inspired table decor, which was a very special celebration for my son's 21st. Now, I made 9 DIYs I'll be sharing with you today, starting with this romantic Gothic inspired centerpiece. Now, you're going to need a candle holder, some floral foam, and some flowers for this decoration. You'll see me putting in there a gorgeous little crafty chandelier just to give a little bit of pizzazz. With your floral foam, you're going to cut it down to size. I decided to elevate this Gothic centerpiece on a cake riser, so I just used my hot glue and glued the floral foam onto my cake riser. Then I used my candle centerpiece and made an indentation into the foam. That way I knew where to position my flowers. Now my candle centerpiece, the candle itself, the candle holder itself, I already had in my stash. It's a 3-pronged metal candle holder, but you can use any metal or any candle holder that you like. I just had it in my stash and it worked really well with this design. Now you're going to spread your flowers all around this arrangement. It's really important to give it that elegant look, to make it as full and as round as you possibly can. I already was using flowers in my stash from my Valentine's Day decor, but what makes this Gothic sort of moody feel and texture are the different shades of red. So when you're building out this centerpiece, use light reds and dark reds and blood reds. I had some hibiscuses that not only filled out the centerpiece and made it nice and lush and round, but it was also this deep dark red crimson colour, which was absolutely stunning. So just go around the entire centerpiece and fill it out wherever there is a gap with your floral foam. You don't want to leave any open gaps. This is the sort of design that it is okay if you use a lot of flowers. It's perfectly fine. I then use some baby's breath in between. And to give it some extra dimension and design, I used some black ribbon. I cut it into strips and folded it in half and created this nice little round shape. Put a couple of beautiful black bows at the bottom of the cake stand just to make it look a little bit more elegant. And this is the beginning of the centerpiece. Now I did use some black raffia to also insert into the arrangement, again to flow through. I didn't want it to be too elegant, too sort of wedding look. It was for my son's 21st, so I needed to give it a little bit of male texture, if you like. Now I found with my candle holder being spokes, when I inserted the candles themselves, I used some long black candles that the candles were splitting. So I had to create an insert mechanism for the candles rather than trying to spoke the candle through because it was just breaking my candles in half. So I got some black cardboard that I had in my stash with some double-sided tape, and I used some stronger glue to bond the cardboard together so that when I made the insert shape, the candle was secure as it burned through. I didn't want the whole piece to fall apart. So you can see me here using as a template an existing metal single candle holder where you could insert a nice tall candle. So the dimensions are about a couple of inches long by about a half an inch wide, and I just used the glue to secure it together. Now I used some wooden balls that I had in my stash as well as a way for the candle to actually rest on the spoke and not get broken through. So you can see me here inserting the wooden ball and then inserting my insert mechanism, and then the candle fit beautifully inside that little insert mechanism, and you would never know because it's all black. It actually turned out as if it was designed that way, as if I'd bought the candle holder that way. Then I used some black ostrich feathers just to give it that extra pizzazz and elegance, and there you have it, a beautiful dark red, gorgeous, elegant inspired Gothic romantic centerpiece. Now for my second DIY, I want to share with you how I made this 21 sign. As I said, this celebration was for my son's 21st. All you're going to need is some black cardboard, and you're just going to draw out the numerals 2 and 1. Using your scissors, cut it out. And then what I did was I went through my photo library and I cut out basically photos of my son of all different ages, stuck them all around 21, and it makes a fabulous backdrop for photos and to reminisce and celebrate your son's 21st. Now for the third DIY, I'd like to share with you how I made this gorgeous black garland. It's a romantic rose garland that I used black leaves and black feathers to really give it that nice romantic Gothic theme. Starting with some 210 GSM paper, I simply folded it into 3 panels, and here you can see the original garland that I used as my template. I really wanted to copy this garland, but I didn't want to use green petals. I actually wanted to use black petals. So using the paper, I traced out the garland petal shape from my original inspiration and cut out those petals into some beautiful black leaves. So to make the leaves look more realistic, as you can see here, I took a black Sharpie and then I simply drew the veins of the leaf on each of the leaves. I drew them on the front and I drew them on the back of each leaf. Once I had all the veins drawn out, I just took my pencil and I curled the edges of the leaves to make them look as realistic as I could. When you curl them down in different directions, it just makes them look more alive and really nice touch to the garland as well. Now to create the spine of the garland, I used chenille sticks. I simply just wound them together to create a nice long, it's about a 2-meter length garland, and I also had some black tape. I think it's electrical tape actually. I'm not sure what sort of tape it is, but I had it in my garage, and then I covered the entire chenille sticks with that black tape. Then I added a battery-operated light string to the garland, and I wrapped it around the spine of the garland that we just made with the chenille sticks. This way what I really like about these strings is that the wire is really thin, which means that you can maneuver the garland, you can bend it, you can shape it, and the lights will go with you. So it's a really nice touch. Next, I added the leaves to the garland, spacing them about 4 inches apart using some hot glue. I just glued them onto the spine of the garland, and you'll see now it's really starting to take shape. I really loved how the black leaves really complement it gave me exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for a garland that was Gothic inspired, black and red. I started to add some of my red roses to the garland. I just used I cut the stems off and added the buds directly onto the garland and started to make a nice garland arrangement with the red roses and the black leaves. So to finish off my garland design, I just used some craft feathers that I had in my stash, actually from my 20s, Roaring 20s party theme. And I just inserted the feathers into the gaps between the string light wire and the stem of the garland, and that way you have this beautiful Gothic Moody inspired red and black garland that it absolutely looked amazing on the table. Here it is finished. I hope you love it. I really love it. If you're liking what you see, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so that you can be alerted every time I upload a video. So for this fourth DIY, I want to show you how I jazzed up this beautiful red lantern with some florals. So all you're going to need is a gorgeous lantern. In my situation, I had a lovely red Moroccan lantern. I just inserted a battery-operated tea light candle, and then I used some of my leftover red flowers that I had been using for previous DIYs in this series, and I just chopped them down to size, or cut them down to size, and then just arranged them at the top of this lantern. And boy, what a difference it made. It went from being a gorgeous Moroccan candle to an absolutely stunning, moody, beautiful, elegant floral lantern that looked absolutely stunning on the table for my Gothic inspired tablescape. So for the next DIY number 6, I want to share with you how I made a very simple black charger round. Now I only had 4 charger rounds and I needed 2 more. So all I did was I took my black charger round that I already had, traced it on some black glitter board that I had in my stash, and that's it. It's as simple as that. And now I have 6 gorgeous black round chargers that I used as part of this tablescape. So for this next DIY, I'd like to share with you how I made this black and red name keepsake. I always like to make little keepsakes for my celebrations so that our guests can go away and remember and enjoy the fabulous celebration that they had. And for my son's 21st, I made a beautiful black keepsake. I bought this, it's actually a wedding invitation, a black wedding invitation. I bought it from a stationery store, and inside I just put a few photos of my son from when he was 1 and then when he was 21, and then I just got some red ribbon that I have made from a previous DIY in my black and red tablescape series, and I undid it. It was a napkin holder that I had made, which I'll put the link in the description box below, and then I just simply added a bow around this beautiful wedding invitation that I turned into a namesake takeaway for my guests. So for our last DIY, I'd like to share with you how I made these beautiful red velvet no-sew chair covers. Now I really love to jazz up my chairs as well as my tablescape. All I used today was some red velvet, some scissors and some hot glue. Now I measured out the length of the chair cover to my chair. You'll have to do that for the length of your chair. And then I just cut out the material, folded it in half, but I did make one side slightly shorter than the other, so the inside of the chair needed to be shorter than the outside of the chair. And then I just used some hot glue and basically glued the sides together. Now you can sew this together. A proper sewer, I'm not very good at sewing, but you can easily just use some cotton and thread and sew it together. Otherwise the hot glue works perfectly fine. It's nice and strong. And once you've once you've hot glued both sides of the material together, you have yourself an elegant red velvet chair cover for practically next to nothing. I got this material from my local craft store at 40% discount, so it cost me only a few dollars, and it really made a massive difference to my Gothic inspired romantic table setting. I like to use cushions, I like to use chair covers. I think it finishes off a tablescape when you make sure that the chairs also are in theme with your event. I hope you like it, because I certainly love it. So this is my favourite part. It's now time to tablescape. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've absolutely loved sharing this with you. If you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel and push that button so that I can alert you every time I upload a video. I hope you've enjoyed this Gothic inspired red and black tablescape. It was a very special evening for us. It was my son's 21st. They're his favourite colours. He likes all things moody and romantic and Gothic. And he absolutely loved this celebration, and we had a wonderful, wonderful evening. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.